Okay, we've got more monstering in the haunted graveyard. All right, this is the Fright Factory by Mattel from 1966. It's kind of a big time monster kid toy, and this box may have the greatest graphics in monster kid history. I mean, just look at that. As cool as the Creepy Crawlers box is, this ups it, I think. This turns up the volume on the cool factor. Just absolutely beautiful box. This box alone probably sold many a Fright Factory. And this is a Thingmaker toy. Basically a heating unit. I just did a Creepy Crawlers video and you can check that out. Get more info on some of this stuff. But anyway, there's a price sticker. $8.49. Now this first came out in 1966, but you know, these things sold for a few years after, at least a couple of years. And there's the contents. And the Thingmaker Guru, John Nettles, sold me this set. And he is an expert on Thingmaker toys. And this is complete and sealed. It's not brand new. It's not factory sealed. But it's refurbished. It has all original parts, and it is complete because, unlike me and most of us, John Nettles knows what goes in a complete set. And there's a good look at the cool box top. And here is a look at the sealed complete set with all original parts. It's got, I think there were 7 molds in this one. And 5 of them had like disguise pieces that you could create. Now there's the shrunken head right there. It had like the other metal piece that went down over it so that it would be thin enough to be feasible. Otherwise it'd be so thick it'd never come out right. And there's the skeleton. And there's the cooling tray and the handle, and got the plastic knife there and the plastic goop. And here's some little things to decorate, like beads or whatever. And there's some hair you could cut off, and I think there's some other stuff underneath that hair, but I'm not going to open this up. And there's for the cord from the Thingmaker. Here's the Thingmaker. And all of the original paperwork is right there. And even the graphics on the booklet is pretty spectacular. I mean, this is just burned into the Monster Kid memory, you know. It's part of some of us. We could never shake it, even if we wanted to. Prompt action saves stains. And, yeah, the plastic goop would stain clothing and stuff. So, and there's reorder form. Anyway, this came out in 1966, and I had one of these as a kid and enjoyed the heck out of it. Burnt my fingers a few times, but it was well worth it for the fun I had. And here are some of the loose pieces. Now, I ordered a lot, or 2 or 3 lots, several years ago off of eBay of several of these pieces that were made up, and I just got a hodgepodge. And I don't have examples of all of the molds like I do with the Creepy Crawlers, but I've got what I've got here. Here's a couple of the torsos for the skeletons. They've even got like a little charm loop on the top of the head there that you could hang them and dangle them if you wanted to. If you wanted to scare your sister or whatever. Now here's one of the coolest pieces, the shrunken head. And that's what some of that hair is for. You could put some of that hair, loop it through these holes here, and have a swell shrunken head to scare people with, man. Look at that. I mean, that's pretty dang cool, you know. And we've got some eyeballs, scary eyeballs. I guess you could put strings through those little holes, and you could wear them like eye patches to scare people with. Have one big monster eye. And then you had these little bracelet things. If you connected two of them, like a kid's wrist, probably accommodate that, and make a bracelet, or you could use one of them and fold it around and make like a little ring that you could wear. I'm sure this stuff was popular around Halloween, you know, kids going out trick-or-treating, dressing up and stuff. And here is one of these scars. That's from that mold right there that I showed. And I'm not sure how you would apply some of this stuff. I guess some kids stuck it on with glue. I don't think I'd be doing that. Here's the some of the lips, big scary monster lips. You know, if you, for older kids that had access to magic shops and places like that, they could get whatever they needed to stick these things on themselves safely. But just regular little kids, I don't know what they would use, Elmer's glue. Here's a lock, and I think you put this like on your lips, on your mouth, so like it was locked shut or whatever. And there's a couple more of those, and here's a tongue with a big scar on it and some awful lesions. And here are some claws. You just slip those over your fingers there and wear them like a ring on the end of your fingers, and you got monster claws. And mustaches. Yeah. It's got the little thing up here at the top. You just stick those two things up your nose, on the end of your nose there, and in your nostrils, and all of a sudden you got a mustache. And there's a couple more here, you know, different colors and stuff. So, you know, I don't have a long presentation for Fright Factory because I don't have a loose example to show all the different components and the molds up close. Now you can see on YouTube, they have the commercials for this and for creepy crawlers. If you want to check those out, just do a search for commercial for whatever, you know, and you can find them. And they're really cool. And oh yeah, I was going to mention about the market on this stuff. Now I bought this from John Nettles. Back when I bought it, it was really cheap. It was only like 170 or 180 bucks or something like that. And it's everything. It's complete. It's got nice everything. I mean, even though this box top is not in high grade or anything like that, I mean, it's got a tape pull there and some different stuff. Still, you know, he refurbished this stuff. And that original price tag there is worth a mint to me. I mean, that's better than high grade for me personally, because it's provenance, you know, it gives you character. And so anyway, when you see these things offered on the only place I see this stuff consistently is eBay. Like wherever you see, you know, everything else, eBay. And the condition is usually really, really bad on this stuff, especially these styrofoam bases. You know, a lot of times back in the day, people would put hot Thingmakers down in the base. We didn't even let them cool off or whatever, and they would spill the plastic goop in the bases. And I think that some of that stuff would eat away at that styrofoam because of the way the chemicals reacted or whatever. And paint and all kind of stuff, you know, would be spilled. And people still want quite a bit of money for this stuff. I'm just glad I got a nice condition example here to add to my collection, because this is, you know, this marks a time when I was a kid when I really enjoyed things like this, and you know, I'm glad I got this good example. I'm glad that John Nettles did good work on this. Now on his website now, the name of the website is creeplepeeple.com, and it's spelled like Creeple Peeple, C-R-E-E, instead of, or P-E-E, instead of, you know, P-O or whatever. But I don't think he is still active in this because his website hasn't been updated for like over a year and a half. And the latest prices I've seen on his website for something like this was like $300. And if you could get something like this complete, he even guarantees these heating units, and he makes, or he did make the plastic hoop. I don't know if he still does or not. He might have gotten out of it. I don't know. But I'm sure this thing would work if I opened this up and plugged it up because he guarantees this stuff. And he was straight, he was straight arrow about everything else. So I don't doubt him on that. And so anyway, his latest price is right around $300, like $299 or whatever for something like this. And that would be a bargain now compared to the crap you see on eBay. You never know what makes a complete set, you know? I mean, I know quite a bit about a lot of Monster Kid toys, and I don't know. That's why I went to John and gave him my business, and I was glad to get these examples, you know, sealed and complete. But it's a real mess when you go to buy this stuff, you know, as a collector. Now you might get with certain toy dealers and find one in nice shape like this, but you know it'd be a bargain to get something like this now for $300. You know, just if you're curious about it, look on eBay, see what kind of crap they've got on there and how much they want for it. I mean, they want substantial amounts just for the single molds or even the loose pieces, you know. So anyway, I'm glad I'm not in the market for it anymore. Uh, so that covers the Fright Factory by Mattel from 1966. Cool Monster Kid toy. I'm going to do Creeple Peeple next.